breaking down Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. We are jumping into the Pirate Fan Zone. We're going to talk Lubbock Cooper basketball. Before I do, girls, you both have been here, but hold it above the silver when you talk and talk loud, and he'll tweak you in there. When we come back from the next break, I'll tease football like I said I was going to, because this is our last show for this school year. We'll be back in late August, because football's always a big deal. Jaden Isley down to my far left there grew up in Clovis, so he knows that football is always going to be there, but we're going to stop at the end of May, and the end of August we'll be here like in a blink. And that first week is big for Lubbock teams, so we'll talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit more basketball, though, because Friendship was in with – now Piper came with new coach Chris Roberts as well, but Jada she blushed, but she's one of the top 10 or 15 players in the country, just watching her the last few years. You guys have maybe the most experience coming back. Now, we talked last year that there were some growing pains getting to that point, but now these two, I'm going to let you introduce here in a second, they're not the only two you have coming back.
No, yeah, we've kind of worked our way from being one of the oldest teams when I took over the Cooper job, and then got to be the youngest after that first year, and then we've kind of worked our way back up to where we're kind of at least middle of the pack and towards the top as far as age and experience goes again. So it's been a good test for our kids, and we'll bring back a lot of our team from last year. So we're looking forward to not having to rebuild anything and just kind of get to hit the ground running. Don't have to teach an entire new group new things. And every girl on our team's had a lot of experience at this point.
As a girl dad, I know Breeze's dad is out there going, wait, my daughter's just going to be a sophomore. I'm going to speed things up, but she's an experienced sophomore, so that helps. Introduce these two real quick.
Yeah, so we got Chloe Young, and Chloe's was the first freshman that I pulled up to varsity in my first year, so Chloe's been with me the longest up until this point, and she's done a great job in her career for us, and we're looking forward to her senior year. We don't want that to happen too fast. We don't want to see her go, but I know she's excited to get to her senior year, and she's had tons of success along the way and lots of accolades along the way as well, and we're excited to see what she gets to do in her senior year. And then Breecia Crenshaw, and she was the most recent freshman that we brought up to varsity, and like you said, she's only going to be a sophomore next year, but got tons of minutes this year as a freshman, got thrown to the fire and got to go experience that, which is cool because not everybody gets a chance to play 4 years on the varsity. And she's made great with her minutes and her experience, and got better all season long. And her stats as they went along got better in just about every category. So I'm looking forward to her sophomore year because she's going to get a chance to really feel comfortable from the start going into next season.
I was sitting here thinking when you were saying that, since I've had Hub City Preps, you guys are like unicorns. There's been Leah Chavez that played as a freshman, Jada Jackson that played as a freshman. That's these two, Kaylee Smith, that's at core 9. I'm going to guess, I think Kaya was a sophomore when I started the site. So
yeah, 2 others on our team, both with Ada and April. So we've part of that's just we were a young team anyway, but part of that's just the skill and the talent that these girls have, and felt they could make contributions to the varsity right away. And so we've done a lot of it lately. And the one good thing is when you have 4 years, you get a couple years in playing as a freshman. You feel like you're really experienced by the time you're a junior.
Yeah.
And you've played a lot of games and a lot of minutes, and you've had the ability to make mistakes and learn. And by the time you get to your junior and senior year, you start feeling a lot more comfortable with what's going on every game.
I should clarify, 5A and 6A, there hasn't been a lot of smaller schools you're going to see that. I don't want to forget Ari Johnson. She stepped in right away. The thing that you two have going for you, though, is that I'm going to make somebody mad here. You're playing for a really good dude who's – sometimes when a freshman or sophomore gets to be a junior or senior, the coach's message can go in one ear and out the other pretty quick, but you've been around him now. This will be your 4th year. You're kind of, I don't know what word I want to use here. You're his prototype, I guess, for what you guys want to do. How have you two kind of grown together, you and Coach?
I think since when he first came, it was my first year, so we grew together. We both figured out what was good with each other, and like we've gone closer for sure. We talk, we text, so I think it's good. We're really close.
Because you played with some pretty decent teammates that freshman year that,
Yes.
that have gone on to do some pretty good things.
Yes.
And are still doing good things. I know some of them have graduated, but one of them's going to be one of the best players in Division II next year, Magic Esquivel. So now you get to grab that torch too, and you get to learn from Chloe and get used to Coach as you're going along. What was your freshman year like? Because you've played a lot of competitive basketball. Stepping up and playing 5A basketball right away as a freshman, that's daunting. But what did you learn from these two that first year?
They really just showed me how everything's supposed to be done. Like, it wasn't that nerve-wracking because I already knew Chloe before. So it was honestly it was really easy transition other than competition, but yeah.
Because you didn't look like a freshman. The times I saw you, you played older. When I say look, I mean you still look very young. I don't want to get in trouble with that again. But you played very old. That was a big part of the success you guys did have last year, is that you had a freshman who she played above her years, beyond her years.
Yeah, I'll brag on Bree a little bit, and that was Chloe, obviously being our oldest, most experienced player for multiple years now. She had to carry a lot of weight as far as bringing the ball up, making sure we were in the right things and in the right offensive packages, be a scorer, do what she does naturally really well. And Bree really came in and helped take some of that load where Chloe's such an efficient shooter. If she has any space, she's going to be able to shoot it with a lot of consistency. And Bree coming in and being a really good defender, which is the first step of being able to play on the varsity level, is can you defend your position? And she showed she could do that right away with the high motor. And then she's really good at making the right decision at the right time. She's really unselfish, so I think that really helped free Chloe up to do what Chloe does the best on our team, which is be a shooter and be a scorer.
And we'll talk a little bit about Chloe's changing roles through the years when we come back. Coming up on the first break on the High School Fan Zone, I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the High School Fan Zone. We are in the Pirate Fan Zone talking Lubbock Cooper basketball, but before we get out of here, I do want to go through that first week of the football schedule. I know it's not till August, but this is why we'll be back in late August instead of waiting until after Labor Day, because week 1, you have Estacado and Lubbock High playing each other, which hasn't happened very often. You have Coronado and Monterey playing each other because Coronado is now Division II in football, so you want to keep that rivalry going. You have Friendship and Lubbock Cooper playing, which has been a great, maybe the best rivalry in football in Lubbock, Texas the last 7 or 8 years. Here's another one, Liberty and Memorial play. Well, let's see. I think that's probably enough. Lubbock Christian state champions go over to Lovington, New Mexico. It's probably a place that Jaden Isley's been a time or two. Let's see if there's anything else. That's pretty much it, but that's why we will be back that first week, because you've got 4 games right off the bat with city teams playing each other. So it's going to be feisty right away, just like District 3 5A basketball is going to be. Talked about it with Chris Roberts a little bit, who's going to be new to him with Friendship dropping down. It's not going to be new to you guys. You've seen it. It just gets tougher. You get Friendship and Memorial jumping in. It was a Coronado baseball coach who pointed this out last year, that in that district, everybody's basically taking on 2 more playoff teams because of Friendship and Memorial. You got used to coaching that district the last couple of years. I mean, coming over here and coaching that district, that'll test a coach's mettle right away. Now you have to adjust a little bit more. They're going to know you better. They're going to know your girls coming back better. How are these girls prepared for that challenge?
I think first off, like, the teams in this area, all these girls know each other. They've all either grown up playing with each other or against each other. So there's there's some of that that's just very common for all of our kids. Everybody kind of knows everybody. As far as the district goes, you're right. It's a district that's the largest in the state of Texas, as far as I know. Maybe one other 10-team district, but our kids are pretty used to playing in that right now, and it's a district where you just don't get a night off. And now it'll be no buys. You're going to play every week of the district schedule. So I think whoever can manage their bodies, their time well, can we pick stuff up quickly? Can you put game plans together quickly and spend the time in the weight room to take care of yourself? Whoever's healthy is gonna have an advantage, because everybody's gonna be good in this district. It's one of those things where you just got to try to win all the little margin areas of the day to day. And luckily for us, we're not rebuilding a whole bunch of different positions through graduation or anything like that. So our kids kind of know the routine and how that goes, and it's gonna be a fun district to play in again.
Let's piggyback on that for you two. Being year 3 with you and Coach year 2 for you guys. I've watched Coach at practice a little bit, and game plans are a big part of what he does. Being more familiar and comfortable with that part now, being familiar with all the teams you're going to play, especially you guys because you've played friendship all these years. Chloe, how much do you guys as older players now, I'm sorry I'm calling you older again, how much is that going to help you I guess the muscle memory of you've been through it now all these years?
It definitely helps a lot. Knowing what you're doing and how to do it good is really key. What you need to win a game. You can do all these plays, but if you don't run them right and you don't read how the defense is guarding it, then it's not going to work. So you really just need to know and keep in mind how the defense is guarding it.
What about you? Especially for freshmen. Now you played high level basketball, but it's a little bit different from being in eighth grade in Hobbs? Or had you moved here?
I moved here.
But still, your 8th grade coach, and no offense to 8th grade coaches, but 8th grade coaches aren't putting these complex game plans together. As freshmen, you have to learn that stuff quick.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest change from 8th grade, was just going from a game on, was it Tuesday? Mm-hmm. Tuesday to Friday? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Tuesday to Friday.
You're such a basketball junkie, you don't even know what night of the week is.
Every day of the week.
There you go.
But I don't know, just having teammates who were really accepting of me and helping me get through practices, and practices going to 5:30 really helped me a lot. But it is difficult to learn all the things, but once you're locked in and you have teammates to push you, it's not that hard.
Especially going from freshman to sophomore. Some famous coach said a long time ago, the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores.
Yep, absolutely. Bree's being really modest, though. She's got a great IQ for the game. She's someone we're building a relationship that, like I did with Chloe through her couple of years of when she's seeing things on the floor now, then she's seeing things and finding a voice to tell us as a staff, hey, we're seeing this, can we get this done? So it didn't take her long to pick it up either.
There was challenges for you last year because there were new coaches in the district too. It's one thing to coach against the same people year after year after, but there were, I know, 3 coaches right off the top of my head. So we'll got one more segment with Lubbock Cooper girls basketball when we come back on the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the last segment of this show for this week and for this school year. So I've got one thing to close out with before we get done. So Ben, make sure you give me the signal, because about the last 8 or 9 seconds I need to mention something. We're going to talk a little bit more Lubbock Cooper basketball, girls basketball. Missed the playoffs last year. We'll tear the bandage off. It would have been, I'm trying to think the last time that happened. Chloe, you're a Lubbock Cooper kid for a long time. Do you remember?
No.
It had been a while. Now, we'll go back to that district. There's 4 really good teams that got into the playoffs from that district. What I think that does for you guys is you get to go from Lubbock Cooper, that program that's got the red circle and cross on your chest all the time. Now you get to be the hunter a little bit more. You've been around, you've been on both sides of that. What could that do for you guys? You still got some young players. But you have a lot of players back. Being a hunter instead of the hunted, how could that change things for you?
It definitely gives lots of motivation. Everybody wants to win a gold ball. Everybody wants to celebrate. So now we just got to go do it and go out with a bang, basically.
So in the 6th and 8th grade, you watched Lubbock Cooper girls play for state semifinals and state championships.
Yes.
So you know, Coach knew this when he got the job. There's those expectations are up here.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't get to go to the playoffs last year, but you've been around this area for a while. How eager are you to get a taste of that to help this team help this program get back there?
I think just hearing about how exciting it is to get there and walking into the locker room and seeing all of the gold balls that we have on the wall really is just motivation to get there and get to feel it myself. So,
because here's the thing to me, Jaden, if you're a West Texas team, if you're a Lubbock or Amarillo team, and you get to the 5A playoffs, you've got a chance to play for a while, because there's good teams in the Metroplex, obviously, but West Texas teams, when they get to the playoffs, know what they're doing.
Yeah, they've got a good track record, and like they said, I think there's a hunger to after missing the playoffs by one game last year. There's a hunger to get back into that mix, and the good thing for our kids is you basically you're playing about 9-ish out of the 9 to 10 playoff caliber teams that have all been there, have all been ranked. I think last year, like 7 of the 9 were ranked in the top 25 at one point or another, in multiple top 10. So, you're basically playing playoff basketball our entire schedule. I think everybody's itching to, let's get there again, and it won't feel much different than playing a normal schedule for us. So I know our girls are hungry. They put in a lot of work in this postseason to get ahead on some things going into summer. And like I said, with not much turnover, we're a little bit ahead of where we've been in the past couple of years. So I think we're just itching to get back to basketball season. We're gonna go do some things this summer and put in a little bit of work and have a little fun doing it in the summer. And then we're ready to get back to the school year and get going.
What are those summer plans? What are these girls going to be doing this summer?
So we'll work our kids out all through June and July, about 4 days a week, and they do some different things from on-court skill to strength and conditioning. And our school does a great job of providing a lot of opportunity to get better through the summer, stay in the weight room, and do those things. And then we'll hit up both Lubbock Christians team camp this year. We'll go to Coach Gerlich's over at Tex. And so we'll get to spend a little bit of time in both those gyms and get these girls just some game reps there as well. And then, we do have a lot of high-level club players on our team that'll play in the live period all in July. So
these two right here.
Yep. So they're going to get plenty of basketball. So we'll try to get a little bit done with our team, and then make sure we don't wear them out because they're going to play most of July too. So just try to take care of them and their bodies and let them go have a good summer and go chase a couple gold balls next year.
Who do you two play for in the summer?
Fusion.
I play for Josh Washington Elite.
I know that young man pretty well too. He was a pretty good player. He was a good player on 2 different fields when he was growing up. I'm getting one signal there. So give me just a rough estimate. How many days of the summer are you actually on the road?
Like traveling to, I'd say not that many, maybe like 5.
Okay, so not crazy. You mentioned the 2 camps you guys are going to, Jaden. I think that's cool for coaches too, because you're going to get to watch Steve Gomez talk to girls and kind of relate to them, and Krista Gerlich, who's got that effervescent personality. To me, it's good for coaches as well.
Yeah, no, and we want to keep our kids in front of our local colleges some as well, and then they get out in front of on the circuit. They get out in front of everybody else pretty much too. So it's good for us to get some local things done and not make them travel, since they travel all May and July.
All right, we're coming up to the end here. I want to say congratulations to all of the graduates coming up this week, especially one Darby Gianna Rosetta, who graduates from Lubbock High on Saturday. We will be back in August with the High School Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. Until then,